Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Inside Health. My name is Duke Otieno. Today, I just want to reflect on a story that is trending in Kenya. There's this foreign guy, the Russian guy, that is trending for all the bad reasons, I can say. Apparently, this foreign guy is pulling women very easily. Like someone meets him today, and by tomorrow, full trust has already been unlocked. Then people online are saying, oh, bro, this must be juju. This guy must be using some kind of drug. Just a disclaimer, I'm not saying that this is what the Russian guy is using, but I'm just trying to uh, just dig into the situation that is happening, where the Russian guy is just luring women easily in the morning, in the evening, he's having them in his Airbnb and so. But let's be honest for a second. I don't believe in juju, but I believe science can explain some of these things that may look a bit mysterious. And this will lead us to a topic that I thought would be very good for me to talk about, especially just trying to connect it to what is happening with the Russian guy who's trying to lure women easily. People starting to say, oh, women are quite easy, the standards are low, and so on. Maybe, maybe not. So, these will take me directly to a medicine called scopolamine. So that will be what we want to look into today. So this scopolamine is a drug that people online are calling a mind control drug, or in some countries, especially in Colombia, they call it the devil's breath. Remember, the name of the drug is called scopolamine. So first thing first, let's just try and see what is this scopolamine drug. Doctors mostly use it to treat what we call motion sickness. You know, that kind of crazy feeling you get when you are in a matatu. So you are on a Ngong Road matatu and you're feeling your head spinning. You are in a Rongai matatu with a lot of noise, and then you just start feeling like your head is spinning. Now, that is what we call motion sickness. And sometimes it usually causes some people to vomit, or maybe just have that feeling of nausea. So, scopolamine is a medicine that is used to treat motion sickness. And apart from motion sickness, it's also used just before surgery. And I'll just try to explain why it's used before surgery. And what it does is that it usually dries. Maybe they want to do some surgery on your mouth. When you are given scopolamine, your mouth gets dry, like saliva will not be produced. So it usually dries the mouth area, or maybe the internal organ, so that the doctor can work on whatever organ they want to work on. Apart from the motion sickness, we say it's also used in just before surgery. And the source of this medicine called scopolamine is what we call the datura. Probably some of you know about this plant we call the datura. It is a real drug. But this drug, when used in the wrong way or in very high amounts, that's when things start getting weird. So how does this scopolamine affect the brain? Now let's get into some science. Don't worry, I'll try to keep it as simple as possible so that you're able to understand what this scopolamine. I know the name might sound a bit complex, and when you hear about how does it affect the brain, maybe you think it's going to be something very complex. No, I'm going to make it very, very simple. Just trying to explain how the scopolamine affects the brain. So, in the brain, there is a chemical that is called acetylcholine. This is a chemical that's usually very helpful in terms of memory, decision making, and awareness. Just trying to understand your surrounding, understanding the people that are around you, understanding what is happening around you. It's very important in terms of decision making, gives you that sober kind of thinking for you to make a very sober and right decision. And in terms of memory, you having just remember some of the things that are happening, what you said, what you had, and so forth. So the main component of the brain that helps in the memory, decision making, and awareness is this chemical produced by the brain called acetylcholine. Now, what does this scopolamine do? Scopolamine, when it's taken into the body, it works by blocking the acetylcholine. So remember, the brain releases acetylcholine so that it helps you with memory, decision making, and awareness. Now here comes scopolamine, which blocks the acetylcholine. What does that mean? The opposite of the above. Memory, gone. Decision making, gone. Awareness, gone. So, after using acetylcholine, generally some of the things that you will experience include like that feeling of confusion, slower thinking. We also have that you'll be like forgetting things easily, and you become a little more, suggestible. Like your brain is not okay now. Remember, it's working against the issue around memory, around decision making, and awareness. Because it's blocking the acetylcholine, that means you're going to lose all these three factors. So confusion, slower thinking, and you just having that feeling, you forgetting easily. You can't even remember what happened a few minutes ago. That's why in some countries like Colombia, I think it's one of the countries that scopolamine is used so much, but not in the rightful ways, but as a drug, maybe to drug people, steal from them, and so on. In a country like Colombia, scopolamine has been given the name the devil's breath. This is because of the things that the things that it does to your body, the confusion, the slow thinking, and just being forgetful. So when someone is given scopolamine, the brain functioning is totally distorted. But that does not mean like scopolamine is like a remote control to the body. No. It does not mean that someone will control you like a robot. And it does not, the way you control Netflix. No. It does not mean that because you're feeling confused, slow thinking, and forgetful, you'll just be like a robot being controlled left, right, center, up, down. No. It only causes confusion, but not loss of control. I think up to there, it's quite clear on how the scopolamine works. Just remember blocking acetylcholine, which is very important in terms of memory, in terms of decision making, and awareness. So this brings us to the question now in relation like to what is happening with the Russian guy. So can this scopolamine be used to lure somebody? Because it makes you forget. Probably it makes you not think logically the way you should. So can it be used to lure somebody? Is it maybe what the Russian guy is using to lure women? I know this is a part that most of you are quite curious to know about it. And hypothetically speaking, if someone was exposed to scopolamine without knowing, what they will experience is that feeling of disorientation. And some people will be like poor, they will have that poor decision making capability, but later on they will remember things clearly. Later on, most of these viral stories that you might get to come across on social media, that maybe this guy was using juju, or maybe this guy used drugs to make women to interfere with their thinking and their logical orientation, like their brain not to be at its best. I think these are just stories, but we really don't have a proof. And in many situations, either alcohol is involved, emotions are involved, or maybe just a very good talker. Yes. So the real question becomes, is it a drug? Is it a game? Or is it juju? Is it a drug? Is it emotions? Or is it magic? I think that's where the question comes in, especially for the scenario of the Russian guy and the way he's been handling the women. Let's just try and see the aspect of psychology vis-a-vis the aspect of magic. If someone is confident, if someone is very smooth with their words, if if someone looks different, that foreigner vibe, that European kind of vibe that you expect the European people to bring in, and if someone gives you full attention, definitely what will happen, the brain will release dopamine. When the brain releases dopamine, you'll feel special, and definitely your guard goes down. And the next thing you know, you're already in the situation. You're already in Roysambu at the Russian guy's house. So, for me, no juju, no magic, no drugs. But it's more about psychology. I think I read somewhere that this guy has been doing some psychology kind of things, just trying to understand the psychology of women and so on. So for me, I will still believe that it's more of psychology and not use of drugs like scopolamine, as some people have started insinuating, or maybe magic. So I don't believe in that magic. I don't think it's about the drugs, because the way scopolamine works, I don't expect someone to greet you, say hi, and then you say yes immediately. Drugs have a way that they work in the body. They take some time before it gets to that therapeutic level so that the drug can have the effect on the brain. So I don't think it is more of drugs, but it's more of psychology. The dopamine release, someone feeling special, and definitely the guard goes down. And this is coming from the aspect that maybe the person is very confident, and from the videos you would have clearly seen this guy is confidently approaching the ladies. He's very smooth with his words, as much as he doesn't know English very well, him being a Russian, but he's very smooth with the kind of words that he uses. And definitely that extra vibe, him being a European, and the way he tries to give you the attention, that has been the thing that has completely changed the game. And we start thinking maybe this guy is using juju or maybe drugs. What are just some of the dangers about believing on this hype? Here is the problem. If we start blaming everything on mind control drugs like scopolamine, we will avoid taking responsibility. I don't want to say ladies have an issue, or maybe those ladies were too easy and so forth, but so long as we start saying that maybe this guy used drugs, people will not be responsible. You'll just give in to anything, and then you say this guy used drugs on me. So we will avoid taking responsibility. We will start fearing everyone, thinking everyone has that attitude, everyone has that motive, maybe to use a drug on you, drag you, and then do whatever he wants to do. And we might even start accusing people without proper proof, because for it to be proved that probably you used a drug on someone, a test has to be done. Those toxicological tests have to be done so that you are able to ascertain that yes, scopolamine was used. So we might end up accusing some people falsely. Yes, and definitely that's not fair, and that's not accurate in any way. To end up this conversation on the Russian guy, sometimes I can say it's not magic, it's not drugs being used to confuse people, but it's more of psychology, just trying to understand the psychology of a human being, trying to understand the psychology of women or maybe men, so that you are able to approach those people in a way that they are not able to resist. Like this guy, very confident in terms of the way he talks. He knows how to make a lady feel special. He gives attention, and definitely coming with that European vibe, that foreigner kind of vibe. Of course, it really worked for him. So it's more of psychology and not drugs and not magic. And on that note, let's not come up with theories that are not able to be substantiated, theories that are not able to be explained, because even from where I sit, I tried to look at it from an angle of, was it maybe scopolamine that was used? Did he use it so that he's able to influence the way these ladies think? But then the reality is, even if he used scopolamine, there's that time that the drug would have taken to act. But remember, this guy was meeting them there and there, talked to them, and they were able to give him that date, that appointment, maybe the meeting in the evening. So even if it was scopolamine, it does not work in 1 minute or 2 minutes. Yeah. So just let's change that attitude and Let's be focused. Let's not run away from responsibility. And if you have enjoyed today's discussion, please like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Maybe in the comment section, you can just try and tell us, what do you think might be the reason? Because for me, it's more of psychology. Do you think it's psychology? Is it drugs? Is it magic? Please write it in the comment section. See you in the next video.